Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Pretty Nurse Ashley. This video is about my nursing update. I have so much to tell you guys, so let's get started. First things first, I have decided to go to grad school. I know in a previous vlog I was saying how I didn't want to go to grad school, how I didn't want to do any tests or have to write a ton of papers. But I have made the decision to go back to grad school in fall of 2018. So right now I'm looking at 3 programs. One program is exclusively online. The other 2 have on-campus and online components. So with the other 2 programs, I would actually have to move to another city. I'm going back to school to be a women's health nurse practitioner. As many of you know, I'm a mother-baby nurse. And we do have a women's health component, of course. With mother baby, I also work with GYN patients. I've always wanted to do women's health, and becoming a women's health nurse practitioner, you know, that's just the next step in my career. And also when I become a women's health nurse practitioner, I can also teach. Whereas if I just went back to school to get my master's in nursing education, I will only be able to teach and not practice. So I think what I'll do once I graduate from graduate school, you know, and get my master's as a women's health nurse practitioner, I'll probably work full-time as a women's health nurse practitioner and then part-time doing education. So like working at a university or community college or being a clinical instructor, preferably in like a mother-baby setting, because that's the only experience I have. So I'm very excited about that. The only thing is with the women's health nurse practitioner, a lot of people say, you know, you should just become a family nurse practitioner so you won't limit yourself. And I'm like, I already know I want to do women's health, so it's kind of like would be pointless for me to go the family nurse practitioner route where I'd have to learn like pediatrics, you know, geriatrics, and just everything when I solely want to focus on women's health. I don't think I'm limiting myself by becoming a women's health nurse practitioner. I follow a nurse practitioner on Instagram. Her name is Monica. She recently posted a blog about going back to school to get your FNP or family nurse practitioner versus going back to school to get your women's health nurse practitioner. And I'll definitely link that blog down below because it definitely helped me in, you know, confirming my decision. Like, yes, I need to go back to become a women's health nurse practitioner instead of doing the family nurse practitioner route. Now, I will say I'm more so hoping that I get accepted into the programs that are on-campus programs, because I've never taken any classes online. With the online master's program, it's a lot of self-teaching. And with me and my learning style, I just like my teachers being right there, right in front of me, so I can ask them questions. The 2 on-campus master programs, they fit my learning style, but I'll be just as happy to get into the online program as well. And then it'll be very exciting if I get into those 2 on-campus programs, because I'll have to move to like a new city, so that'll be definitely a big step for me, you know, moving out of Memphis. And with the online programs, I know they're cheaper than the on-campus programs, but my preference is really with the on-campus master's degree programs. And also with the online program, when you have the clinical portion of the women's health nurse practitioner program, you have to find your own preceptors, which can be a pain in the butt. But I know with the 2 on-campus women's health nurse practitioner programs that I've applied for, they will find your preceptors for you, so you don't have to worry about that. From what I've seen, finding preceptors on your own is not easy unless you know people. And with the online program, I don't know if they just want us to have preceptors who are women's health nurse practitioners, or can we precept with OBGYNs? Because if we can precept with OBGYNs, then I know plenty of doctors that would let me precept with them because I work with them. That's it for grad school. So now let's move on to travel nursing. So if you follow me on Twitter, you will see that I have mentioned, a few times that I want to travel nurse. Nothing is set in stone yet, but with travel nursing, most companies and most hospitals, they want you to have 2 years of experience in your specialty, which I do. The only thing with travel nursing is that I'm looking for an assignment in a specific city, and they haven't been able to find me an assignment in this specific city. So, until then, I'm just here in Memphis, but I haven't decided completely if I'm going to do travel nursing, because with travel nursing, there is so much that comes with it. It can kind of be overwhelming. I'll link a website down below with the article that has 10 mistakes new travel nurses make. And that really helped me tremendously. Now, like I said, I haven't made a solid decision to do travel nursing because there are things that I have to get together before I even consider travel nursing, but that is a possibility that I'm looking into, just because you make great money as a travel nurse and the experience that comes with it, basically going to a new city, seeing life outside of Memphis. But with travel nursing, I will caution you when you're looking for companies. This is a mistake I made. So I went on Indeed and I saw that there was a travel nurse company in the area I wanted to travel to. So I filled out that application. Come to find out, it was like a bogus travel company, and they ended up selling my information to a ton of other travel nurse companies. So by the next day, I had about 20 missed calls from 20 different travel nurse companies, and needless to say, that has been overwhelming. I've had to put people on block lists, and it just kind of made me turn, not want to become a travel nurse anymore. But I am working with like maybe 2 or 3 agencies right now. And another problem I'm running into with travel nursing is that they only have night shift positions available. I'm a day shift nurse, and I'm just not willing to become a night shift nurse for a travel assignment, because I feel like that would be too much for me. Because on top of, traveling to a new city, trying to get acquainted with my new unit, their charting system and everything, I will be having to adjust to becoming a night shift nurse, and right now that's something that I'm not ready for. Another challenge I'm running into with travel nursing is just really trying to understand the process as a whole, because there's so much research you need to do before you decide to travel nurse. You have to research the company, research the hospital that you might get a contract at, and research the area that you're living in, because you make the most money, to my understanding now I'm still in the process of researching, when you take the housing stipend, which means that you find housing on your own. So that right there, of course there are options on like Airbnb, looking at various furnished apartments, or getting like a hotel, like an extended stay. With me, I like stability, and I have stability here in Memphis, with my job. And what comes with travel nursing is the possibility that your contract can be canceled at any time. What if you don't like your assignment? You might be stuck there for 13 weeks, because I think if you back out of a contract, this is my understanding now, y'all. I've never travel nurse before. This is just what I've gotten from research. So let's say you go to a hospital, you don't like it, you already signed your contract, and you're supposed to do a 13-week assignment, but you decided to end your assignment at 4 weeks. I think you would have to end up either paying the hospital back money or the travel nurse company back money. And that can range from anywhere from like $1,000 to, I've even seen it high as like $4,000. But with travel nursing, you do make good money. I know some of the positions, some of the assignments that I saw from mother baby, you're like making like anywhere from $1,500 to $1,800 a week, and that's a lot of money right there. But so my travel nurse plans are on hold. I will say You know, I do have a few travel nurse friends who they really want me to travel, and you know, they've been giving me a ton of advice, but right now I'm kind of just not ready to make that step. I will say the one good thing is being in Tennessee, I do have a compact license. But with the compact license, so like if I'm in Tennessee, I know I can go to like Texas and practice as a nurse without having to go through that lengthy process, because Texas is also like a compact state. And then Florida and Georgia are going to become compact states for the nursing license in January 2018, which is good. And you know, I don't think California is a compact state, so you have to go through a lengthy process of getting your California license versus if you have a compact license and you're going to a compact state to practice nursing. So, you know, my travel nurse plans are kind of like up in the air. But I definitely would love to do it for the money and the experience that I gain. But right now, I'm just on hold. And of course, I would only travel nurse before, you know, I start grad school. And hopefully, you know, if I do secure an assignment in the area that I want, it's also in the area where my top choice for grad school is. So hopefully by the end of that assignment, they would provide me with like a full-time permanent position, and you know, that'd be amazing. So with travel nursing, another concern that I have is that I'm not outgoing at all. So it's definitely hard for me to meet new people. And of course, with travel nursing, you know, you're going to a new city, meeting new people, having to work with new people. That kind of makes me nervous. Like, I'm very reserved, shy, and quiet. If it's hard for me to like come out of my shell and meet new people, then it's like, you know, will that be a good experience for me? But if you guys have any tips about travel nursing, or if you are in grad school and you have tips for me, leave them down below. I'll definitely be documenting my grad school journey. I wish I would have documented undergrad and nursing school, because that would have been, I think, a big help to a lot of people, because you know, I'm trying to go off memory of, you know, what I did back in nursing school starting in 2012, and you know, that was 5 years ago. So it's kind of hard for me to remember, you know, certain specific details about nursing school unless they were like major things. So I did post on Instagram and Twitter that I was recording a video, and I asked you guys, you know, what type of video did you want me to record, and some of you all sent me questions about nursing, so I'll go ahead and answer those. So the first question is from Damali Ray. Hopefully I pronounced your name right. Sorry if I didn't. She said, "Hey Ashley, my name is Damali and I'm an aspiring nurse. I was wondering if you could talk about how to manage your social life while in nursing school and how to budget your money. I was also wondering if you could do a vlog of your workday routine and a get ready with me for work, because you always slay. God bless." So with the first question, how did I manage having a social life in nursing school? So in nursing school, if I wanted to go to an event or party, first things first, I never went out when I had a test. I never went out the weekend before I had a test, because I would be studying all weekend. So with my university, so let's take fall semester for an example. So we always had a back to school party in August. We always had an end of the year party in like December, you know, before you start studying for finals. We always had homecoming, of course. And then, you know, in between those parties, you would have different parties during the different months, you know, sets or kickbacks. So I always said, you know, hey, I'm going to these parties, you know, no matter what. But I made the decision, you know, hey, if you have a test on a Monday, you're not going out the weekend before. And luckily, you know, with the back to school party in August, the party during before finals week, and then homecoming, I never had a test to study for, with the exception of finals, because you know, they give you a few days to study for finals before the actual finals. But I never went out the Monday. I would never went out the weekend before my test on a Monday. And I always tried to reward myself, you know, the next weekend by going to like a set or kickback. But with the social life, you can have a social life in nursing school. But what you have to understand is your schedule is not going to be like your friend's schedule who are not in nursing school. So, you know, they're not waking up at 5 a.m. for clinicals. You know, they're not staying up late at night to do care plans. They might not have 100 to like 300 pages to read for a chapter, you know. But I say it's all about balance. I think it's important to have a social life. I was never the type to party every weekend, but I did go to, you know, my fair share of parties, because you have to have balance in life, you know. You have to get your work done in the classroom, but also, you know, have fun, because college years go by quick. You know, you never get that time back, so you want to make the most of college and try to get your work done during the week before the weekend rolls around. Like, you know, I was reading chapters during the week, you know, after I get out of class, so it wouldn't be so much to study for. You have to be strict with yourself in regards to your studies and everything. So I would just say you have to find balance. And I think, you know, me deciding that I wasn't going to party on the weekends before I had a test coming up made me very successful. Now, that's not to say I went out all the time in college, but I tried to have a social life, and it also helped. You know, in regards to social life, it might not mean you going to parties or kickbacks or sets. It might mean like just time hanging out with your friends, going to a movie, going shopping, going out to eat. One thing that helped, my friends, they live down the hallway from me, so it wasn't anything for me just to walk down to their room to chill, or, you know, and just having that time, because you don't want to be so much into your studies that you forget to enjoy life. Now, that's not me telling you to just forget about your work in nursing school just to have a social life. No, you have to find balance in the two and find out what works for you. But I would just definitely say, you know, don't be a procrastinator either. Try to get your work done as early as you can. I think if you try to get your assignments done as early as you can, you know, that gives you a little bit more time. She also asked, would you be open to doing a story time on what you spent your first check on as a nurse? It would be a short old story time. I'll just go ahead and tell you now. With my first check as a nurse, I think I literally bought a ton of clothes. You know, I went to like websites like Fashion Nova, Giddy Online, Go Jane. I was just buying all these clothes. I want to say the first major purchase that I made as a nurse was a car. And then my second and third major purchases was my MacBook, and then the third major purchase was my camera that I used to film my YouTube videos with. So it wouldn't be an interesting story time because I just bought clothes with my money. But when you get that first nursing check, you really think you balling. Nurses need to get paid more. Can we talk about nurses need to get paid more? We really do. I'm planning 2 videos. I know some of y'all are like, just 2? Yes, just 2. I'm planning 2 more videos for the month of December. So my first video, which will definitely be out by the end of the month, will be my apartment tour. Ever since I put out the video about me moving out and into my first apartment, I've gotten comments about people wanting me to do an apartment tour. So that will be one of my videos. And then the second one is kind of going to be like a 2017 recap. I plan to live my best life in 2018. So thank you guys for watching, and as always, I will keep you guys updated on my nursing journey and any changes that occur. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you guys.